right, everybody on YouTube, stand by. We're going to be catching up here with Twitch TV in just a little bit. Want to get the date correct on here for YouTube at the bottom of the page so everybody knows exactly which system that we are looking at for right now. It's been a beautiful day. We have no problems at all where the weather is concerned today. We do have some climate issues going on that we need to talk about with the potential of anything involving more rainfall coming our direction. That is going to be the main concern over the course of the next several days. We would love to be able to have some more rain. Yes, it may cause a problems for Friday night football and outdoor activities, but as of right now, we really need the rainfall as we are well below normal for this time of the year. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onek. This is Weather Overtime for Wednesday, the 4th of September. Hang on a second. Let me get everything where it needs to be here. All right. This is our video weather blog segments. If you've never been here before, first of all, welcome to the show. We're live and direct from Chattanooga, Tennessee, bringing you more information about what's going on with weather across much of the Tennessee River Valley and keeping you updated as to what's going to be coming our way in the near future. The 7-day forecast at the bottom portion of your screen, lower left-hand corner of your screen, you can find out more about that at our website, wdef.com/weather, if you'd like to know more. And if you got questions, our chat function is running on both YouTube and on Twitch TV. So if you'd like to ask a question about the weather here or anything else weather related in and around this area or otherwise, if we can't answer it immediately, we'll do our best to give you an answer at some other point in time. But for right now, if you haven't been here before, your opportunity to ask more questions about what's going on with weather. Coming up, we'll take a look at what's going on with any chances of rain. We've got some scattered showers back over to our west, but beyond that, really not much happening at this time. Taking a look at 153 and 64 on the Plainview outdoor advertising camera, looking off toward the south and west on the EPB fiber optics weather cam network. And if you've ever had a chance to visit our website, all of our EPB cameras are located at wdef.com/weather if you'd like to take a look at a little bit more. The Chattanooga Airport on just over to the right side of this picture, and that's where this information is coming from. Taking a look at numbers back in the lower 80s. Toward the airport, kind of hazy, but not bad. Air quality is not doing too totally terrible. We are seeing more in the way of humidity. That is doing a good job of making it a little bit more sultry, but not really seeing all that much at this time. Now, in the next few days, a lot of the moisture we're going to be looking at is going to be well back up above us in the form of clouds. We do have another storm system heading our direction. That is going to give us the potential of maybe some more storms coming on through. But when I say maybe, we're not talking about a lot. And unfortunately, we need as much as we can get. Temperatures for today were about as normal as they could be. Very close to where we should be. 87 and 69, the respective high and low. 87 and 67, the respective normal high temperature and low temperature for this time of the year. Temperatures, again, just right about where we should be. This is about as typically September as you can possibly get for this area of the country at this time of the year. The big numbers we're worried about right here, goose eggs on the rainfall amounts. A fraction of an inch was picked up on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. That 1/100th of an inch is about all we were able to manage, which means every single day we don't get rainfall is a day that stacks up with that deficit. So as of right now, we're already half an inch behind for September, which is on a run-up to one of the rainier months of the year around here. This is the big problem, to where we're looking at 8 2/3 inches behind on rain for the entire year. That is way behind normal. And as of right now, even if we were able, this is the 9th month of the year, so we have September, October, November, December, and that's 4 months technically. So we do have 3 and a little more if you want to get nitpicky about it. Right now, we would have to have at least 2 inches of rain per month all the way through December 31st to make just a break even. and that is what we could use. Whether or not we get that, we'll have to erase this deficit and get into a positive amount of rainfall. May or may not happen. And for right now, it's looking pretty dry in the course of the next couple of days, so probably not much of a big chance of anything going on in that location. Heading out the door to the school bus tomorrow, it is going to be mild. Clouds will be sticking around, not expecting anything in the way of precipitation on the school day forecast. We do see again some temperatures with nominal amounts of humidity. Don't have a great deal happening where it comes to a ton of humidity or precipitation, so you can leave the umbrella at home. That's not going to be a big problem, but we are going to see again the potential for more in the way of showers and thunderstorms coming up as we go into and around Friday. But the chances at this time are not great. We would love to be able to have more of that, but that's just, again, not going to be happening. So for the kids, for Thursday, heading out to the school bus stop, doesn't look like too much for right now. So, again, anything at all, very dry Thursday coming our way for the time being. So, for that being said, taking a look, let's do some outdoor weather, see what else we've got coming up through here. Golf course weather into the rest of Thursday. Partly cloudy in the afternoon, mostly cloudy in the morning, and some very mild temperatures coming up, again with highs right about where they should be, back into the mid to upper 80s. And the temperatures again for outdoors will be pretty perfect for tomorrow, back in the high 80s with winds, occasionally breezy, but not seeing a lot of very windy conditions out there. Temperatures right before 10 o'clock, we are back in the 60s in western North Carolina, back toward Andrews, 80 degrees in Langston, Alabama. Scottsboro, Alabama, again, I would have somebody take your thermometer out of the oven or get it fixed, because obviously we've got an error message setting up there. The really hot weather has been well on down to the south of us. Mississippi Delta, southern Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi picking up a lot of that in the way of hotter weather for right now. The potential for that heat will be back with us again next week. Not a great deal of it, but it would be nice to see a little bit less in the way of major amounts of temperature swings upwards anytime soon. Excuse me, I'm going to watch where I put my drinks around here. All right, so for right now, we've got a few light showers back over into southwestern Tennessee, northwestern Alabama, northeast Georgia, right before the top of the hour. Winds at this time, thanks to high pressure that was farther west, were dropping drier air down our direction. Now high pressure and low pressure working to escort in more moisture off the Atlantic and go right along that dying frontal boundary. That is the cold front that moved through a couple of days ago, around Saturday, Sunday, giving us those windy conditions and those isolated showers and thunderstorms. Now, most of the activity with this area of low pressure that the National Hurricane Center is no longer keeping track of. There were some signs that this might become a tropical system. Doesn't look like it right now, so it's an area of low pressure, but that's about it. Now, in the next couple of days, you can already see the gray and white colors. That's the clouds making their way up across the Mississippi and heading our direction. That is where we see the best potential for cloud cover. More rain well on down to the south of us. Some of that is going to run into this storm system coming our direction from well back to the north, so that will give us the possibility of some thunderstorms as we go into around Friday afternoon and evening. We'll time things out for you coming up here in just a second. The main thing we're going to be seeing is cloud cover, and that'll be sticking around. The gray and white colors on the forecast showing those temperatures continuing there. High 60s for tomorrow morning. Maybe a few lower 60s are possible out there. And then by Thursday afternoon, just some cloud cover, a little bit less to the north of Chattanooga. And we start to see more moisture get a little closer to us. But as that front makes its way through, there might be, it looks like they've taken, this computer model has taken the chances of anything involving showers and thunderstorms out of the forecast for early Friday morning. And really not seeing a great deal of anything changing in the way of the forecast for Friday evening. Let me just double check to see what the National Weather Service is saying for here. Yeah, 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms on Friday afternoon and evening, and that is that as that front comes across, we may see the passage of a few showers and thunderstorms between sunset and midnight Friday night to around Saturday. So that's going to be the best potential of seeing really anything in the way of rainfall, so there's just not a great deal of opportunity for rain before the dry air reasserts itself and moves over again, pushing all that moisture-rich air off the East Coast and down toward the Gulf Coast. So by Saturday afternoon, beautiful, dry, no problems whatsoever. I think we've got some very quiet conditions into the next several days. Saturday night, Sunday morning, very nice, some lower 50s possible. Beautiful conditions out there all the way on through. And then as we get into Sunday afternoon, high 70s to lower 80s, so some beautiful conditions. The weekend looks excellent, no problem at all for being outdoors during the weekend. High pressure pushing in more of that drier air back to our west. So chances of rain, yes, kind of, sort of, but there's really just not that much in the way of rain anytime soon. Matter of fact, the rainfall forecast for the next few days, very slim chances of anything down to the south of us, from the coastal Carolinas to the Gulf Coast to the Texas coast to the mouth of the Mississippi. 2.5 to 4, possibly 5 inches of rainfall, especially off the Georgia, South Carolina coast. We could be looking at a lot of activity here. And that means, again, not great beach weather, anything around or south of Charleston, and all the way down. Let me expand this by just a little bit. The Gulf Coast in the next couple of days is going to get soaked with tons of rainfall, possibly by that next tropical system. We'll show you that coming up here in just a little bit. But in the meantime, this, again, from, say, Corpus Christi, Houston, Galveston, New Orleans, all the way back to the Keys, all the way back up to Savannah and Charleston, will be picking up a very decent amount of some heavy rainfall. That is what we could use all the way up here, and it just does not look like that is going to be happening anytime soon. So don't have much hope for anything in the way of rainfall. We do see better potential in the way of less hot conditions. We at least will be just a little bit below normal for this time of the year in the News 12 viewing area. That is offering us some hope that we're not going to be blazing hot. That is going to be reserved for well out to the west of us. So that is our best possibility of getting anything in the way of nicer conditions around here for now. Taking a look at Island Cove Marina and Resort on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network overlooking Lake Chickamauga. Sylvester the Spider hasn't shown up here yet, but he might, so arachnophobes, beware of anything moving on the screen. We do see a chance of showers and thunderstorms for Friday. We're not expecting much. There is no sign of any severe weather coming our way. The front moves through Friday night into Saturday. That takes care of any moisture, shoves all that stuff off toward the east, and that means we're going to be out of anything involving moisture. So that means the potential of any rainfall is pretty much gone from the forecast. Into the next 7 to 10 days right after this, there's really no big sign save a leftover tropical system moving up this direction and into our area. There's little, if anything, that's going to be taking place in the way of any amount of showers or thunderstorms anytime soon. Will that continue through the middle of the month? It's possible, but again, we'll wait on the models to guide us on that. For right now, that is going to be the dry conditions we've seen, and a very good possibility that in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 days, somewhere toward about the end of the weekend, we probably will be topping, unless we get a decent soaking here, we probably will be topping 9 inches behind on rainfall Sunday into Monday. That will be our best opportunity on Friday to get some rain, but the confidence, I have to tell you, is not there. So doubt we're going to be seeing too much of anything out of this anytime soon. It would be nice, but I just don't see it for right now. Confidence will be with us, but for again right now, that's not exactly some good news. All right, we've been keeping track of this and trying to bring you more and more about climate change and what it's doing to our weather patterns of our system. And from the very astute and very nice to follow Brian McNulty on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, senior research associate at the University of Miami Rosenstiel School, covering hurricanes, climatology, and sea level rise for the most part. This graphic, Mr. McNulty tweeted out earlier today, talking about the waters of the Gulf of Mexico. And as of right now, climate change from the fossil-fueled pollution that we use to get our transportation, to drive our industries, everything like that, the more we use fossil fuels, the more the greenhouse effect keeps more heat in, and the oceans usually would do a good job of taking that heat, transporting it away through the channels of the oceans. It's too much too soon, and that is causing a lot of problems, including very warm waters for the Gulf of Mexico. So what does that mean, and what does this mean? Take a look at this red line here. For the entire Gulf of Mexico for 2024, it has been all the way above average for the 2013 to 2023 average, and is now ranked 126% above average for this particular date. Those are the Gulf of Mexico temperatures there. That's what the average was in that dark blue line. The red line, the thin red line, is what we saw on 2023, and we are way up here. That is exceptionally scary, and another example about what we are doing to our atmosphere by using fossil fuels to power our societies. That is why we have to switch to a clean energy very, very quickly. If anybody wants to argue saying that climate change is a hoax, okay, there's the email down at the bottom section of the screen. I'm not going to engage in any headbutting here online because of the fact that, number one, I don't have time. This is all about weather, but it also involves climate change. And number two, I'm not going to sit there and try to convince anybody, again, of what is happening unless you're going to ask me what it is that we are seeing out there. If you're just in it for arguments, I'm not going to engage with you, period, end of sentence, don't even try. But if you'd like to know more about what's going on and people like Mr. McNulty to follow in regards to stuff like this, I'd be glad to help you out with stuff like that. Just contact me and let me know. But if you're in the mood for a shouting contest and you want to tell me that climate change is not real, blah, 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 I'm not going to listen, because it is real, it is happening, and we as humans are causing the majority of it on our planet, and we need to reverse that as soon as possible. This is exceptionally scary, ugly information. It's the truth. It's what's coming in from off of the ocean surfaces. It is not faked data. So again, if you'd like to know more, please contact me. If you just want to argue about it, good luck finding somebody else who's going to engage with you on that. Now, this being said, with the Gulf being that warm, here is something that everybody who is going to be going to the beach anytime soon really needs to pay attention to. Yesterday, we had 3. Today, we have 4. We have new storm system developing right off the coast of the Carolinas. And this one is showing the possibility of now a 10% possibility of development into the next 2 days. That is up a little bit in the last about 24 hours, last 6 hours for that matter. So we are seeing some increase here. That expected to parallel the coast of the United States and will not be a problem here. This particular system south of Jamaica expected to head to the Bay of Campeche, and that is where we could see development out of this, about a 30% chance of development. That's number 2. Number 3, just to the east of the Leeward Islands, this one stands about a 10% chance in the next 2 to 7 days of developing. That doesn't look like much for now. This one, a little bit healthier, not by much, about a 20% chance of development for this wave coming in from off of Africa, and that, again, about a 20% chance of development in the next 20 days. If any of these move over those very warm waters of the Gulf or the Caribbean or the Western Atlantic, any of these could explode very, very quickly. Now, we've got all these are not tropical depressions, they are not tropical storms, they are certainly not hurricanes, but they could become those in the course of the next several days. So this is something that we're going to have to watch out for. And again, if you're heading anywhere involving the ocean or the beach anytime soon, for any of these systems, the peak of hurricane season is next week, Tuesday, September the 10th. That is the peak of the entire season, where we should see conditions slowly down toward December the 1st start to diminish, theoretically. Depending on how warm the waters are and how good the conditions are out there. We only had 3 systems a couple of days ago. Before that, we only had 2, so we are now at 4 systems coming in, and any one of these could be a problem or could be the next storm. The next storm on the list would be the F-named storm. That, again, is where we're going to be looking at the possibility of that developing. Maybe not from one of these, maybe from another wave of energy coming in from off of Africa, but that is what we have to deal with for right now. If you're going to the beach anywhere from Maine to the Keys, the Bahamas, Jamaica, out to the Leeward Islands, the Mexican, the Gulf Coast area, Central American coast, you need to be weather aware. You need to be aware of what's going on here, what may be heading your direction, and be prepared to turn around and get out of a particular location if a storm looks like it's barreling down on you. That is going to be imperative in the next several weeks as we go through the peak of season. And this, again, is where you're going to have to watch what goes on with these systems to make certain you don't get stuck someplace you don't want to be. You don't want to be sitting waiting for rescue when you could have had a window of opportunity, and you, in fact, might have had an opportunity to get out of a particular area instead of waiting for the storm and saying, shrugging your shoulders, oh, it won't be that bad. So this is your opportunity and your notice to say, I need to pay attention to what's going on here. We'll help you do that. Keep it tuned to News 12 for more, and we'll keep you advised on this, but we are looking at some pretty active conditions in the course of the next several days. All right, a little bit of extracurricular activity, 17 days and a few hours until we reach the autumn season. That does not guarantee cooler weather, but it does give us at least a little bit of time to notice how much time we have left in summertime, so we're almost there. Do want to talk a little bit, thanks to everybody for sending in some pictures. I haven't been to the Delmarva Peninsula, assuming that that's where this was taken, more or less, around Lansing, Delaware. Thank you very much, News 12 viewer Tracy Reed, for a beautiful view of wildflowers in the sand. That's our Langley Roofing weather window picture of the day, if you'd like to be able to see more about what is going on there. If you've got pictures, if you'd like to see the pictures that we post them to our social media pages every single night. Some exceptions from time to time, but we do our best to get them out there nightly for everybody to see. If you'd like to see everybody else's submissions, go to our website, wdef.com/photos. If you'd like to send yours in, all you have to do is email them, pictures@wdef.com, drop them to our social media pages, or again, go to our website, wdef.com/photos, if you'd like to check in there and even send your own picture in. We'd love to see what you are seeing out there, but we can't show them unless we know what it is that you're sending in. So please get those into us as soon as possible. All right, did a little bit something different here for tonight. Our friendinroofing.com weather poll of the day, and we borrowed this from NOAA Jetstream, which is a weather education website. Really great to be able to take a look at some of the best stuff that NOAA does. A lot of people think all NOAA does is talk about climate change. That is false. They do so much more than that, and weather education is just one of the things they do. So looking at this from the weather education lesson that they had, all of this right here is not just modern art, anything in the way of just numbers thrown together. This represents a report of a weather station in and around what is going on at a particular location. And you can tell a lot about this very easily. This is, again, Weather 101 basically on here. The circle, again, is the center where the station is located. Blacked out like this, it means that it's totally overcast. Winds coming in from out of the south and east. If north is up this way, east, west, south, winds are out of the southwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, if I recall correctly. The atmospheric pressure up here, 1012. Well, I might as well just go ahead and tell you for this, but what is the air temperature? Where is the air temperature on here? Well, I just gave you one of the answers right there. So is it 10? degrees? Is it 78 degrees? Is it 98 degrees or 124? The actual answer, the weather report for the temperature, is in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, and from this particular station, wherever it happened to be, the temperature was 98 degrees. 78 was the dew point. If I recall correctly, that was 10 statute mile visibility at that point in time, and some very high thin clouds up there. So 98 was the correct answer. So thanks to everybody for voting in our friendinroofing.com weather poll question of the day. Very much appreciate all of our sponsors helping out on things like that. All right, one more thing to consider, again, where it comes to anything involving things that are happening at and where NOAA is concerned. NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, does a lot to help keep you safe. They monitor shipping lanes. They monitor ocean salinity, ocean temperature. They educate people where it comes to things like skywarn and severe weather. If you've never had the opportunity to visit a National Weather Service open house, National Weather Service under the umbrella agency of NOAA, which reports to the Secretary of Commerce, the Commerce Department, a cabinet-level position in the executive branch. This, again, is a small part of what NOAA does. And this is a rare opportunity. There are not many open houses from the National Weather Service that are offered every single year. And for one to happen in this area, this is the first one that I've noticed anytime soon in the last couple of years since I've been here. This is an opportunity to tour the National Weather Service in Morristown, Tennessee. The open house will be Saturday, September 28th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Again, this will be at 5974 Commerce Boulevard, Morristown, Tennessee. The National Weather Service for the News 12 viewing area, our viewing area is covered over by 4 National Weather Service offices. Morristown to the northeast, Peachtree City to the southeast, Huntsville, Alabama to the southwest, and to the northwest by National Weather Service, Nashville. So if you'd like to do this being in our viewing area, and thank you to the National Weather Service personnel in Morristown for offering this. Again, it's a rare opportunity. So if you'd like to find out more about what NOAA does, ask questions from the meteorologist, watch a balloon launch. That's kind of cool. Haven't seen that for a very long time. Learn about the data that NOAA collects and how they use it to protect you when it comes to things like radar and severe weather, or from the National Hurricane Center, that data we just showed you. Again, that coming from NOAA. That's something, again, to take a look at, and a very great opportunity here. So please, if you can, schedule this September 28th. More information about the rules: no alcohol on premises, no animals except for guide dogs, service animals, things like that, but otherwise no animals are allowed. You can also find out more underneath the forecast on our webpage at wdef.com/weather if you'd like to see a little bit more about what goes on there. If you've never been to a National Weather Service office, if you have kids, grandkids, that would be a good opportunity to maybe get some of them interested in science. Kids usually are very much interested in weather. This is a perfect opportunity to do so. So again, take advantage of this. Hopefully I'll get a chance to go up there and take a look around, for a little bit. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, again, Saturday, September 28th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Go and say hi, take a look around, ask questions, be curious, find out more about what's going on in and around this particular location. All right, I think that should do it for tonight. We're pushing half an hour on time frame, so we're going to go ahead and throw it back to your usual Wednesday evening activity. Again, more information about what's going on here with Weather Overtime. Email address, lower corner of your screen. We are on Twitch and YouTube. Again, this is live on our respective channels. We're trying to get on more channels. Facebook is obviously having issues after somebody tried to hack my account back in March, and they still haven't let me back on once again. So if you'd like to know more, website at the bottom of your screen, wdef.com/weather. Be glad to take any questions from anybody. If you have more details about what's going on with your forecast, if you got pictures, send those in. We'd love to be able to see more about what you're looking at, and so we can show everybody else. So please let us know more about that. And of course, we'll have more on the forecast tonight on News 12 at 11. News 12 Chip Chapman on the morning show, bright and early, Thursday morning, so tune in for an update there. And, of course, I'll be back with more weather overtime coming up bright and early for Thursday evening, so stay tuned for more on that. And, of course, you can follow me on all of my social media networks. These are mine. The TV station only does Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, but I'm on all of these, so if you'd like to follow along, please do so. Would love to hear from you out there and see who's on which service and wondering what's going on. And if you're in the mood for a game of chess, you can find out more about lichess.org or at chess.com. Would love to hit you up for a game. I'm not a grandmaster, but I do know my way around the board and would love to be able to pick up a game from time to time. So please stop by for that. All right, that should do it. Live and direct from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee on Wednesday, the 4th of September. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onick. Thanks to everybody for tuning in on YouTube and Twitch, and we'll have more for you coming up on air and online in the next few days. So keep it tuned to News 12, and we'll keep you advised.